Welcome to the Awesome. I'm Big Roy, and this is Marvel Strike Force. So I'm finishing up with part 3 of my free-to-play or light spender character guide to Dark Dimension 3. If you haven't watched the first 2 parts, make sure you go watch those first, because your plan has to be for everything, for all 15 characters you're going to take in, so you got to plan for everything. You can't just do here and there. So you got to make sure you have a whole overall plan. So go watch those first, and you can come back to this. Alright, so we're moving on to city. If you want to know what our options are, just remove the C and add a sh, and that will let you know. It's going to be ugly. The first big problem is you probably can't take any villains in because you're not going to have good enough healing for them, because our only options are Mercenary Lieutenant, and his healing is not strong enough or consistent enough. Hand Sorceress, she does give defense up and can heal everyone, but it's on too long of a cooldown. And then Night Nurse, back in the day, she was the best healer. Every other healer that came out after her has blown her away. She just can't keep up at all now. And if you get one heal block on you, she's completely nullified, so she's not going to be an option. Even at high red stars, because if you're running into heal blocks, then she's just not going to get it done. So that leaves us with pretty much city heroes. Probably 4 defenders and 1 city hero, depending on your red stars. So we'll take a look. Chewburger84 in his guide, he's going to do a little different than I did, but he went for more of a as efficient as possible, which includes some spending on a few characters, real money to get them high enough. And then also he just went for 3 characters per origin trait, whereas I'm going more of a flexible, give more options, so you might be using more than 3 of one origin trait. It will come down to what your RNG comes out to and getting the stuff from the stores and any other future sources of the orange mats, which you're going to need an absolute ton of. We'll talk more about that in a bit. So first off, I'm going to be taking in Daredevil, because he has 5 red stars. He's already tier 13. He did very well as my 5th in Fear the Darkness for the most part, especially against villains. That's why I got his basic with the T4 mats. And see, this annoying thing, I got a new phone, and now the only way I can record with internal sound is with the game tools, and I have to have this little icon. So we have to move that out of the way for this. So I guess we'll put it over here. Alright. So anyways, it makes it a guaranteed double hit on a villain, which is very nice. So I got that. Other T4s I might get, not the special, not enough, but the ultimate will be extra damage, and then the chain will go from 3 to 4 up to 4 to 6, which is very nice. There's going to be a lot of enemies on there, and I have a very strong feeling that every little bit of damage you get is going to help. But I am going to keep all my T4 mats until I get a better idea of what we're going to need for that. Now, his passive, it doesn't look amazing, but that 5% speed, I hate to say this, might be the difference between Luke Cage getting his defense off fast enough so you can actually do something, or getting wiped. So we'll have to see that. But once again, I'm going to save those T4 mats. But I pretty much have them ready to go. I'll just need the new pieces. We'll have to see how that comes out. One thing that I will talk about at the end is more about hoarding and resource management for this. One cool thing is, of course, I can't get the thing here because it doesn't work on that. But on some of the other pieces, there's some intermediate pieces where it's halfway built that you can get from milestone orbs at a very low chance. So you might want to hold on to those and open them up all at one time. But we'll talk about that at the end. Alright, so next up will have to be Iron Fist. He will be our healer. Minus 5 red stars, thankfully. So I'll be taking him in. No competition for his focus chi, because everyone else is just hand, which we're not taking in. No way, no how, unless they get a massive buff. And speaking of buffs, Night Nurse, unless she gets a surprise awesome buffs, there's no way you can use her. Now on him, I already got his passive, which is very nice. I will probably end up getting his ultimate, extra 100% damage, which will be very nice. We'll have to see. I don't think 3,000 healing will be enough to make getting the special worth it. And of course, basic not worth it at all. But he's going to be your healer. He's going to heal his defender, friends, and city heroes. So we're going to have him. And then, of course, we're going to take in my girl, Jessica Jones. I already got her ultimate, which is very nice. Went from clearing 3 positive effects to all positive effects, which is amazing against so many tanks. And she gets the 100,000% extra focus, so she can wipe off buffs off everyone, Juggernaut, Colossus, anyone, Thanos even. So yeah, definitely getting that. I will also be getting her special to clear all negative effects, because I'm sure there will be more than 3 negative effects on your characters quite often. So I'll definitely be getting that. I don't know about the resistance on the passive. I don't know if that'll be worth it. Also, I very well might get her basic, because you get that extra 1 ability energy for a random defender ally. So hey, that's extra defense up from Luke Cage. That's going to save you. As much as I don't want to take Luke Cage in, we're going to have to take him in, because he's going to tank, and more importantly, he's going to give us the defense up. T4, that's not going to be worth the mats for the passive. Nor is that. That's only a chance for 1 extra ability energy. Maybe on that one. We'll have to see if there's a lot of negative effects flying around. I'd hate to put T4 mats into Luke Cage, but we might have to. We shall see. And of course his basic isn't worth it. So yeah, and I'll probably have to get the 4th red star in him, which will also hurt. But we'll see. It is a long way off. But we're going to have to, he's going to be a necessary evil to take in. So now for the 5th spot, most likely Punisher will be the choice, especially against those Sinister 6 nodes. There's probably going to be more than one, but we know for one sure, because it's the icon for the actual node. So that's going to suck. But yeah, we already got his passive a long time ago. It's amazing. And he's especially better with Daredevil in there, because they have the synergy. He's going to attack every time Daredevil gets hit. And then he's also going to attack every time someone uses a non-attack ability. So that's very nice. With the defenders, I'll probably end up getting his ultimate. I don't know. Probably not the special. 20% isn't super great. I might get his basic, just because I'll be using that most of the time. And against a villain, it's going to do the extra damage. And thankfully, he's at 4 red stars. So that's definitely going to be the bare minimum for a damage dealer. Pretty much everything. And a tank and your healer. You need everyone for that survivability against their damage. Alright, so other options I might take in as an alternate my Big Fatty Rhino, because he has 6 red stars. He will not get healed at all, which won't be good. But I've been getting that adamantium from the stores. It's been popping up a lot. I already have my Ultron ready to go with all the adamantium he needed. So I'm good on that. So I might take him in there. He'd just go in for some suicide and do a little bit of damage, but he's not going to do great. So he'd be a 6th or a 7th maybe I might take in. Miss Marvel. She'd be the other good option other than Punisher, because she's given the energy, which is always nice, and assisting on Daredevil and Iron Fist. And then she has the very nice self-heal, so that helps as well. And she gets that deflect. So, and she's at 5 red stars for me, so I've been pulled pretty well on those, so that's nice. So she's another option that I might take in. We'll have to see how it comes out. I've been saving up my shield tech, and because I probably won't use shield security, because I'll be able to cover that with other things in the global. And other than that, not a lot of good options. Spider-Man, way too squishy. I'd love to take him in for that defense down, but I mean, look at these tier 12 with 4 red stars. Not even 100k health, 943 armor. You'll just die unless you get super RNG and have him dodge a lot. Hand Sentry doesn't bring enough. Venom, maybe if he's 6 or 7 red stars, because he has the self-healing. But once again, he gets hit with heal block. He's not going to do much. None of the hand are worth it. Spider-Man Miles, if his web blast was like 3 or maybe 4 energy, maybe, because the disrupted is nice, but it's just too long of a cooldown. Yeah, and Mercenary Lieutenant, just that's who Chewburger suggested his fifth, but I don't think he brings enough. It's just his heal isn't consistent enough, only 30% chance, and it's not a big heal either. He does have the very nice speed up and offense up, but I mean it's all about survival. It won't matter if like everyone dies in a turn or two. I was considering Mercenary Riot Guard, but once again, there's no villain healer, so that won't work. But I would love to have his defense up pretty much every other turn, and he'd have permanent defense up on himself, because he'd get it for 2 turns and then be using it every other turn. So, I mean, if they do some kind of city villain healer or surprise buff Night Nurse, that might be an option. But other than that, not really. Carnage, maybe along the same lines as Venom. If he's 6 or 7 red stars, he does have some self-healing, but you have to drop them below 25% health. And everything is going to have an absolute megaton of health. So I don't think that's really an option. Kingpin, his ultimate is great, but it's too long of a cooldown at 5. So yeah, not a lot of good options. Ghost Rider doesn't have any of his supernatural friends, so that isn't going to get it done. So yeah, it looks very ugly. I certainly hope they give us more options in City. We'll have to see though. Let's move that back down there. There we go. Okay. So then, so hoarding. So other places they might actually put orange gear in the future. We know in Nexus, one day if they ever open those up, I think we've been waiting a year now for them to open up, but we'll know we'll have the regular orange gear, which you're going to need an absolute ton of the regular stuff, especially the catalyst parts, health, damage, everything, which I've had a lot of people point that out as a very good point. It's not just the uniques and the new T14 pieces. It's the regular stuff you'll need tons of. So other places they might put the new T14 stuff, I'd say there's probably a 0% chance that they put it in the... Where am I at here? I want raid. That's what it is. Alright, I'd say there's 0% chance they put it in the regular orange gear raid order. That's why I opened mine. I was saving them, but I was like, there's no way they're going to put the good stuff in there. So I just open those as I get them. I had been saving the orange elite. I'd probably peg it at like 30% chance or less that they put the new pieces in there. I think they're more likely to just come up with a new orb if they do anything, which is unfortunate. There's also a chance that they put it in the Orange Gear War Orb from War. So there's a small chance they might put those in there as a small thing one day, but we'll have to see. So I've just been saving up on those. And when you're in the war store, you only want to... I've only been spending my currency on the new T14 piece here, and only if it's tech or skill. I actually have been buying the orange damage catalyst, just because you need so many of them. As long as I stay over 10,000 of the currency, I've been buying those. Once I drop under 10,000, I'll go back to just buying the new T14 pieces. But yeah, it's a super long haul, super long farm for all this stuff. That's why you want to save stuff as much as possible. Now, if you do follow my RNG seed theory and like to use that, there is a chance, what I talked about earlier, in the milestone orb. What part was it at? It's like a very small chance, not in this. I'll find it one of these days. Alright, I think it's in, gear drop. So there's a super small chance. These are like the half-built pieces that you use. So you just use those to build a full piece instead of like the smallest pieces. So a very small chance of getting those, 0.04% chance. So you might want to try saving all those up, and then when you go in to try to find a good seed, if you find a good seed, open them up. You might get lucky. You might get some of those. That'll save you a whole lot of gold and time. But other than that, you got to refresh the supply store. Pretty much do the 250 power core refreshes every time if you can. That's the only way you're going to get enough pieces and time to get it done. But yeah, just make sure you save as much as possible, and don't put, unless you're taking, for 100% sure you're taking the character in, like Phoenix, Ultron, Minerva, you're 100% taking their in. You can put the T13 pieces on them. I'd suggest doing damage first. That's what I did with Ultron and Phoenix. And for me, Nick Fury, I'm taking him in 100%, so I'll be putting stuff on him as I get them. But other than that, save all the gear. You don't know who you're going to take in for 100% sure, because it might end up being a better choice. Someone might get buffed, or they might bring out someone that uses that gear that would be perfect for it. So yeah, just a whole lot of saving. It's really going to test your ability to save up and fight that urge to open stuff, but it will pay off in the end. So that is going to do it. Thanks for listening. Leave any questions, comments down below. Make sure you check out the Strike Force Masters of Launch podcast. Got new episodes just about every week. Also, I have my very own Big Roy Awesome Discord server, so you can check that out. That is also in the description. I'm going to get more active on there. I've been feeling not too well for a while now, but I'm going to get more active on that, I promise. So yeah, that is going to do it. Until next time, stay tuned and stay awesome.